James with Montauk. It is August the 28th, 2023. And I fell for the trap. My Twitter account gone, suspended. I don't know if they're going to turn it back on. I mean, I just answered the question honestly. I just thought that that's what should be done. This when you have people out there that are so diabolical, so insidious, and so um, sick, where they're beyond repair. It's now they're just taking up space, in my opinion. It's just me, and those would be the real useless eaters, according to the World Economic Forum and Yuval Harari. And I was just being honest. One word. Twitter's gone. I'll probably make another account or something and get back on there. I'll worry about it tomorrow or something. But nothing was. I mean, it's not like I was reaching a bazillion people. Um, I've already had five or six YouTube channels taken down. For voicing my opinion or being, real. Just being honest. When it comes to as JP Awaken would say, JP, just exposing the tyrants for what they are, the criminals. And at a certain point, there's just no helping these. It's just they're beyond help, and I am for the death penalty. I mean, at a certain point, a serial killer that continues to kill people over and over and over again for their whatever motivations they have, um, illegally or just out of their sickness. There are people that actually do it because they enjoy it. I would say people like Madeleine Albright. You know, she was asked in a interview with on prime time and said, and this was during the Iran-Iraq war, some war that was happening. There were 500,000 men, women, and children that were killed in this war back in the 90s. I'm trying to remember the name of the damn war. And she was asked, do you think it's worth it that these people are being killed? She said yes. Collateral damage. That's what her answer was. And those kind of people are everywhere. There's just and the reason why they do the wars are, Smedley Butler, look it up. War is a racket. It's just money, control, power, resources, money, control, power, resources. That money goes back into their campaigns, or they get greased in some Cayman Island account, or South African account, or Swiss bank account, or their property or whatever else they're given. Um, who fucking know? I mean, it's a lot of this stuff can be easily traced. We know, I know that you know that we know that if the FBI really did their job, if the CIA really did their job for the people, according to the Constitution, which they're not really a constitutional entity, by the way, or a department, they would follow the money, and they have the ability to follow the money of these tyrants. And tyrant, I think, is an appropriate word. Once you have that kind of power at a political level to make decisions that affect, 10, 15, 20, 30,000, 100,000, million, whatever people, and you start to use that power for your own ill-gotten gains, you deserve capital punishment. The Nuremberg Code, there was a reason for it. And what happened in Nuremberg? What happened in Nuremberg? What did they do with the people that were charged with crimes against humanity. What did they do with those people? They hung them. There used to be public. I mean, it can get stupid, but it's a metaphor to basically say that these people no longer deserve to be a part of civilization or a part or even be fed, in my opinion. I mean, am I no better than them if I want them to be gone? Because here's the problem. They're still around. And if these people are still out there, we're talking some sick, crazy, disgusting pedo predator class, aka World Economic Forum type people and their associates are still out there. They're still causing havoc and destruction and misleading people and propaganda. And this is doing so many things out there for their goal, mass social governance, um, you know, mass depopulation. I mean, just think about that. The word itself, depopulation. We want to depopulate. I mean, fucking Kamala came out and said it. I mean, she knows the goal. She's on every drug known to man, probably, just so she doesn't have to fucking really rely on any minuscule piece of ethics or morals that she may not, that she may have. But she's a lot of these people in power are drugged up bad, and they're sick, and there's just not, and they don't have enough, and they're trying to hoard it all. I've been saying this for a long. I mean, that was so apparent. And a guy used to come on here, Janusz. We called him JJ. We used to sell cars together for Volkswagen in California, Southern California. And he was a great salesperson. We used to always have these debates and talk and discuss, and on the lot, people go, "What do you guys keep arguing?" We're not arguing. We're having a discussion about politics, and that's what we need more of. So I can hear his, and a lot of the stuff that he was saying just made great sense, and a lot of stuff that I was saying to him made good sense. And then we'd come to we'd start extending somewhat of an olive branch with each other, on what was important for the 99%, and that's where we bit. But he came on, and we went over the mindset of the pedo predator class, and you have to agree, and many people would, that pedo Joe is in there. He's part of that group for sure. Him and a bunch of others. You could even throw in Obama, right? Clinton's in there. The whole just a bunch of fuckers in there. I would say Mitch McConnell and a few rhinos out there are all part of this. It's domestic terrorism. And what is the punishment? What is the punishment for that? In the military tribunal, it's death. They're just too far gone. There's no saving these people. They'll keep continuing. If they have a voice, and if they're able to manipulate or move or do anything, or have any communication with the outside world, bad things will continue to happen. They just need to be removed. That's it. Done. And anybody that was with them needs to be researched, investigated thoroughly, and then find out where they want to be and where they want to go. Some of these people out there are just being coerced. I get it. Some people out there are just being blackmailed. I get it. Some of these people out there are just greedy as fuck. But at a certain point, a line has to be drawn. You can't keep doing this kind of shit to people all the time. Maui was the fucking final straw for me. I was just like, you know what, fuck you. I'm not helping COVIDiots anymore that want to keep wearing masks. I'm not going to try to get people and extend an olive branch out to people. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm done. If you want to go down that fucking road and keep taking boosters and commit self-induced suicide, you just keep doing it. You just keep going down that fucking stupid road, to the pit of hell of where all the democrats want you to go. Yeah, I'm done. So it's weird because I just posted some really good stuff, and then it's like as soon as I responded to this, right? As soon as I as soon as I responded to this, I fucking tried to look for it to take it down because I knew the algorithms, the AI, whatever it is, because they were coming after. I was like, fuck, and then I had to work and some other shit happened, so I just kind of forgot about it. But it says right here, this guy right here is the guy who narked on me, right? He's laid the trap, and it is a trap. It was a fucking very well laid out trap because he's probably doing it to a bunch of people, right? And should Joe Biden be impeached for the destruction of the country? Comment, yes, if you agree. Well, I went a little further, and I said HUNG, right? Went a little further, I said this guy just needs to go, for sure. He just needs to go. There are so many people. It's not a hate. I don't hate this man. I just think that he's such a tool that needs, and there's many of them. There's many tools out there, and and I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that are in the same boat. Ask the parents that lost their children in Maui. Ask the families that lost their houses in Maui. How do they feel about this guy? Right? How do they feel now? $700. There it is. Everything's fine. No, we blocked the highways. We made people turn around and go back into the fire. That's already been recorded and known, right? We didn't turn on the water. We turned it off. You couldn't protect your house, right? Whether it's dripping out or whatever, leave the fucking water on. It could have saved a few licenses. The biggest thing was the greatest siren warning system for any emergency. That includes tsunami, fire, earthquake, volcanic eruption, or anything on Maui. The guy purposely didn't turn it on, and I don't believe he was the person that gave that ultimate order. We're going to find out. It comes up the chain of command. It always goes up the chain of command, right? The mayor of that place, his name is Richard Bisson, or Ricky. He needs to go away. I don't think he should be on it. I mean, there's probably hope for him, I think. But there's a lot of people out there, especially this guy, that there's no hope for. That they're gone. There's absolutely no more left for this guy. So, I basically just was being honest. I said there's just not enough energy and effort and time that we need to invest in somebody that's from my perspective and from so many other people, domestically, internally, purposely is taking down every bearing wall of our nation, meticulously, methodically, and purposely. He's handing it over to these Pedo Predator Class World Economic Forum, economic, social governance, or environmental social governance dictators and elitists, whatever fucks. It's just all goes in that direction, and he's their puppet. He's their sniper. He's their trigger puller. They're not pulling any triggers. These 189 to 200 elitist fucks. They're just sitting back waiting for all this to be done so they can come and take it all, to hoard it all. It's a very hard pill for people to swallow. But there's a lot of people on TikTok, a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people on Facebook, yeah, YouTube. I mean, the amount of information out there of what happened, what is happening. I mean, I can't um, tell you that I can't even describe the pain that these people are feeling. This was not an accident. It's you can't at this point think it was an accident. However, it started. The actions taken by that island's leaders or people that are supposed to protect the children, supposed to protect the citizens, supposed to protect the people, either tourists, haoles, foreigners, or the locals, didn't do it. They didn't do it. They didn't do it, and I don't think. And they were, it's when history comes back. When history comes back, it's going to say, and this is gonna happen. And when it all comes out, because it always happens. We just got the information on JFK, the assassination. We know that 9/11 was totally an inside job. We know that the depression of 2008 2009 was an inside job. We know that they purposely rigged the paper to fail so that they could take insurance out on that and then reap double and triple the rewards back. That was totally planned. And then fucking Bush and Obama bailed out the banks. That fucking did the deal. I mean, there's countless things. 9/11. I mean, $2.3 trillion. You know, missing, unaccounted for. The only place that you would be able to find that information, or the only place that you could trace or find out where that information and where it comes from, was exactly where it was struck in the Pentagon. The fucking whatever that is that was that hit it. The towers. These areas were targeted because the paper trails were in these locations. People don't even realize that. There's so many different things out there that this nation has done to create and orchestrate wars. I mean, Kuwait was a great. I was in the service when that was happening. I was like gung ho, let's beat the fuck out of Iraq, and I didn't really know what the fuck was going on until I got out, and my grandfather gave me a Newsweek when Newsweek was actually a credible source of information. And that's when they had their magazine. And he goes, "Hey, read this," and when you go in the bathroom sometime, and I'm reading it. So what happened was Kuwait, and I'll try to make it quick. There was a prior agreement between pretty much all the oil baron type countries and states within, very heavily oil induced or product of oil out there, crude oil in the Middle East, right? And Kuwait and Saddam and Iraq had an agreement. You don't drill on my land, I don't drill on your land. If you drill on my land, you got to pay. If I drill on your land, you got to pay. I got to pay, or whatever. There was an agreement. It was a good agreement. So the U.S. came in and said, "Nah, drill. You don't have to pay." That's what happened. And they started drilling diagonally and then horizontally underneath Iraq. It was all laid out. The plans were in this magazine. I still remember the article. I still remember the artwork, and I still remember the actual blueprints that they had listed. There was so much information to show. Desert Storm was to protect Kuwait from stealing from Iraq. The reason why Iraq invaded Kuwait or started any type of Iraq, the reason why Iraq actually threw a couple of bombs here and there at Kuwait was to let them know to stop. They were trying to tell them, look, you need to stop or we're going to fucking start hurling crap on you. Right? This is the article. This is how I remember it. It's probably still out there. And Kuwait was being told not to do it because we were going to protect them. And we were going to we're going to take a piece of those oil pipes and those shares and those resources. Isn't that crazy? That's how it worked. And once I read that, I was like, I just got out of this. I was so gung ho. It was the 90-day war. I mean, I remember these people we were watching on the TV when I was on the ship, on the aircraft carrier. We had these big fucking 40-inch whatever TVs or, you know, square. In the berthing, there were 94 men in the building. It was bad, stinky fucking place. I swear to God. But we watched this stuff and we were cheering, that we're destroying them, and they were literally just coming out of these foxholes or caves or homes and just, on their knees begging, please stop. We're done. Because we were just pummeling these people, killing thousands and thousands, and just, like stepping on a fucking ant pile, right? Or just, it was like, that's what it was. It was just so ass backwards, and we were just cheering at the time. But the thing was, is when I got on, I just remember I just reading that. I just put my head down. I just go, oh God. And I remember talking to my grandfather. I go, wow, all that for oil. And then I started to understand how things worked. I was fucking 27, 28 at the time, and I started to really understand how the world worked, and how we've been lied to and manipulated and controlled, in a sense, indoctrinated for so long, you know. And then I continued on and was still caught up in a lot of that shit, you know. Our country, as wonderful as it is, has done some pretty heinous things for a very long time to a lot of countries out there. We've started wars and coups, and we've killed, and I've said this before, and I think the number has gone up dramatically. In the 240, 50 years that we've been a nation, we've domestically and internationally, with outside of the United States, we've killed over 20 million people. 20 million people, probably more than that. And then that just brings me to Russia. Russia is the reason why we defeated the Nazis. Nobody really wants to talk about that. They sacrificed 20 million people to overcome the Third Reich, Hitler. We sacrificed like 500,000. It's a lot. It's bad. But they sacrificed a lot of people to beat that. And now we treat them like shit. It's amazing. This is the truth. Look it up. We're just so ass back. We've got to get these people out of it. They can't. Nuremberg tribunal would definitely say these people just need to be hung. The people that are continuing this kind of crap. There's just so much out there that's just getting worse and worse. Let me give you a little. Let me give you a little taste of how they feel, right? And why I'm pissed, and why I'm mad. These are my sisters. These are my brothers. We all have a. If you're Polynesian, or especially if you're Hawaiian, right? You have a. There's a link in there. Because there's not too many of us on the planet. There's just not too many of us on the planet anymore. So we kind of stick up for each other, and we're mad, and we're pissed, and we want to see justice. And justice isn't a slap on the wrist that fucking Hunter Biden got, or not. He didn't even fucking get anything. Justice isn't just resigning or impeachment. Justice is you're out of here. You're done. Your reign of terror, your reign of destruction, your reign of corruption and pedophilia and molestation and dismemberment. I mean, every word you can say to describe our current sitting illegitimate country's leader. He just needs to go. It's that simple. I mean, I'm not saying everybody go out there shoot the guy, but if justice were just, he should be tried and he should be punished militarily. Court martial. Now, would it have been different if I would have said court martial? He is the commander in chief. I think I need to use that as I should ask for that for the in the appeal. I should ask for that in the appeal. That's what they used to do. That was your if you were there's so much proof against these people for what they've done. But let's listen to her on how she feels. Let's listen to her and how she feels.
And to see on Facebook, there's a meeting here.
On August 22nd, the Maui County Council met for the first time since the massive fire destroyed Lahaina and parts of Kula. This is the first public forum where Maui residents could address their leaders since August 8th. The Maui County Council heard emotional testimony from island residents on Tuesday who spoke of extreme hardships they're enduring.
We busted our ass, and this is what we get. No water, no warning, and everybody talking about the satellite city before the fire. Well, hey, Jeff Bezos, you got what you wanted. Oprah, you got what you wanted. Fuck us all over. That's what happened. We need help in Lahaina, because all we got so far was $700, and we don't know who to call or anything.
People in Lahaina are angry, like other people have testified. We don't trust the government because of what has happened. Why did the police block people from coming and exiting? They had lines of people lined on Front Street. We heard testimony from people on top of Facebook that said, and things that said that basically the police was blocking the road over there by Chart House. And hundreds of people were backed up there with people in their cars, and a lot of people lost their lives. I was told by people who escaped there on foot that the officer had blocked the road, people could not get out. My brother literally had to go cut the chain off of the old sugar mill camp area to let people out of the top of Kilauea Mauka. And that's how people got out, because the roads were all blocked, because the police were blocking it. It needs to be investigated by a third party that is not associated with the government. Right now, there's gross negligence, possibly criminal negligence on this part.
Folks are still in active mourning, literally trying to stay alive. And in that is a collective rage. And I don't say that lightly. There is a collective rage that a lot of this feels like a setup. A lot of this feels like, I'm not talking conspiracy theory like somebody went and lit the fire. I'm talking about this is the result of a decades and generations long conversation that West Maui has had with people in charge between Miko and the power lines and the fire response and the water department not communicating to people that there is a problem with their water properly, between the sirens not going up. People are pissed, and it's justifiable. And in the face of all of that, and the feeling, the palpable feeling in the couple of days after this disaster that we are on our own. Nobody is coming to save us. We've been asking for help for decades, and nobody's coming to save us. And so now we're gonna feed and water and medicine ourselves. And now, a few weeks in, agencies and government people are starting to come in and be like, we have the answer, and we have these protocols that you have to follow, and here's our policies, and people are like, get lost. Why would I trust you after you put our town in this position, and after you left us for dead, and now you come in and you tell us how to do things? It's insulting. I'm not even from there, and I'm shaking with anger because I see it happen every day, and I just cannot handle. The same people that made the decision about water and electric that trapped all these people are now the ones that are being asked to be trusted to build the solution. It's really hard to trust the agencies that put you in this very position to get you out of it. The urgency of the situation in the beginning was gasoline, water, food, and everybody was so slow. And now, all of a sudden, people are talking about rebuilding. Like, that's the most urgent thing. The most urgent thing right now is getting people in some kind of shelter. The urgency about having this rebuild conversation when people still don't have roofs over their heads. People don't even have the space to talk about rebuilding, because they don't know where they're going to be in 2 weeks.
we couldn't get supplies from the other side of Maui. You know, with all the checkpoints and the EOC, we had to do this. We had to do this. Yeah, because there's no other ways to get supplies. Release the red tape for us local people. Help us and the leaders of Lahaina make, sorry, I'm going to swear a little bit, make shit happen.
And then we wanted to get out to our people and the roads were closed. People could not get food, they could not get medicine for 2 to 3 days. We're not gonna wait for Red Cross to go and get our people. We will get our own. People are still grieving. They're in shock. They don't even know how to fill out paperwork. Oh, please, can you go online and get your numbers? They don't know how to do that. They don't have access. They don't have internet. Half of those people, when they had to go get help, they evacuated, but they didn't know we have hubs at the Lahaina Gateway or in the PD. What are they gonna do? Walk 30 minutes to get there?
I lost my office building in town and family property. And I want you to know, there's families hiding. There's families hiding in Napili and Kahana and Hanakawai. They lost their homes. They lost their will to live.
I am testifying on my concerns of the governor's emergency proclamation that happened 3 weeks prior to the fire and how it suspended 7 state statutes to streamline development on Maui, and it is allocated all decision-making power to one person. One person on Oahu is currently meeting with developers, meeting with private landowners, and is not meeting with the public.
The Maui Tenants Association has a hotline. We've been receiving call after call of people who are being asked to be evicted by their landlords. People who are being displaced during a time of emergency when their house was like the only house standing in their neighborhood.
I am the CEO of a charity group called Red Lightning. We are internationally recognized since 2010, and we study disasters. In our response, we had difficulty getting into the disaster zone originally. There were checkpoints set up. We were trying to bring these systems in. We were turned around a couple times. I have made every effort to become a member of the EOC, to coordinate with them, and I've been turned around every time.
And people are living there with no connectivity and they can't call if they have an emergency, and you are turned away from putting in a Starlink so that they could be able to call for help if they need it.
That is correct. We were told that because we're not recognized by the EOC, we do not have access. I think there was one in Kahoma Village. It's sort of down by Front Street. We were denied there as well. There were a number of families that asked for help. We could not reach them.
We were blocked out from coming back into Lahaina. I was blocked out several days. I could not come in. There was chaos. People was rioting at the stops. We're wondering what's on those documents for FEMA, and we're afraid to sign documents because right after that, the governor says, "Oh, I'm going to take the land." Right? He's talking about the state wants to purchase all this land and come in and open it for the working class and also work for memorial and things like that. Who the hell does he think that he should get this land? This land belongs to the people already.
Okay.
The government.
Yeah. Here, check this one out. This pretty much is it.
In the island of Hawaii. Attacking or
start from the beginning. Sorry.
Hawaii is not a state of the United States. They've been under intrusion and well, we have because I'm almost half Hawaiian. Usurpation is currently happening in the United States, which means in the island of Hawaii. Attacking or going after the capital of the islands of Hawaii, which is Lahaina. That is the actual capital of Hawaii. Honolulu is not the capital. That's according to the U.S. government, that's the capital. But according to us Hawaiians, Lahaina is the capital. And if you take down the capital, you guys getting this? Of a country or state, and then you take it over by bought land or by force, then it becomes your country. Your country, part of your country or part of your states. That is not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. All this leads up to the Maui fires is just a very well thought out plan to completely and absolutely take over Hawaii, going through the capital first, where a great deal of land is owned by the Hawaiians, but not much longer if they allow that to happen. So the goal is to make them as destitute and as desperate as possible, so that they'll eventually just hand it over, if you're getting that. So FEMA doesn't do anything. They've hidden, I guess, buried bodies. I mean, just all kinds of crazy. If FEMA's coming to your town, fucking block the roads for sure. It's bad. Do not allow FEMA to come to your town. That's your small town. To be honest with you, I'm going to do whatever I can to stop this crazy shit. So Hawaii Lore is the YouTube channel I'm working on, and I've got some Hawaiians working on it too. Please stay with us. We're going to make this. Hawaii is a lawful government by itself. Aloha. Hawaii's not.
Yeah. I know what to say. I know what to say. The thing is I've known what to say for a long time. I just want to look up something real quick. Court martial. Okay, let's see what that means. Judicial court for trying members of armed service accused of offenses against military law. What does it mean if the court, if you get court-martialed? A general court-martial, this court tries to service. A general court-martial at maximum authority punishment. Each offense is manual court-martial. As a court-martial can civilian be court-martialed? How serious? Oh, they changed it. The stakes are very high. The real leverage jeopardy calls for most experienced skilled defense representative. Jail time, punishment, discharge, and other serious punishment and consequences. Oh, they changed it. Yeah. Special court may what happens after you? Because the special court martial may impose any punishment except. See, that's changed. Discharge, dismissal, accompaniment from what? Hardly without accompaniment. Yeah. That, I'm telling you, that has definitely changed. When did court martial change? Service members convicted of court-martial can face significant punishment depending on the nature and severity of the crime. These punishments can include years in confinement, discharge from the military, reduction in rank, forfeiture of pay and allowance, and even death in most serious cases. There it is. There it is. There are 15 different, 15 different chameleon authority. So I just showed you. There it is. The most serious death is the most serious causes. I guess that still can be done. Yeah, it says it can't, but from what I've always known, is you can be. If you become a traitor to your country, if you've been a domestic terrorist, you could get prison, you could get hard labor, you could get fined, da 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 da. But if it's that severe, you get hung. Yeah, and so what's weird is I can go through my Twitter. It's still there, but I can't do anything with it once I start doing something with it. But I can go through stuff that, like the last stuff I did. It's kind of weird. Like they leave it up. If I go to messages, oh, can't get any messages. No notifications. Tune in now. Home. Your account is suspended. There it is. Did the appeal. What's weird is I can look at stuff. And there's Republican Obama. Right? We're all being fucking played again. I just... Let me kind of go back here. I kind of want to jump the gun a little bit, but what I find most interesting. Okay, hey David Radowski, how you doing, man? Guy is brilliant, by the way. Lives in Hawaii. I'm jealous. The most interesting thing is we are seeing everything in regards to Maui, all the meetings prior, government's involvement, Josh Green's involvement with the World Economic Forum, with the smart city / smart island process, him and David Ig, who was the older governor, who was a piece of crap as well. Yeah, they should probably get court-martialed as well. I mean, should I just say court-martialed? Is that the same thing? I think, I'm just saying. Here, I'm a little concerned about people that fray away from the death penalty. And the reason why is because maybe, is there a little guilt there? Because I know people that just ain't say that, no, we shouldn't kill them. But I want you to put yourself in a scenario. I want you to put yourself in a scenario, right? And let's just take this picture for example of what I'm showing you right now. Let's just say there's a person that has a laser beam, and they're running through a town, right? Or they're hovering above town by 100 feet, and you have a gun, or you have a bow and arrow, and you can take this thing down, and you see the person in that vehicle. Maybe it's an ultralight powered little kite flown aircraft, but the guy's got a laser on it, and he's shooting down, starting fires. Let's just use that scenario. And he's burning cars, and he's burning buildings, and there's just no other way to stop this person. He's not coming down. He's not running out of gas. He's still going. He just started, so he's already burned 20, 30 homes, killed hundreds of people already. What do you do if you have the ability to take that to stop that person? What do you do? Do you just wave at him and say, hey man, can you stop? No. Put yourself in that situation. He's frying people up. Kids, babies, just frying them with his laser. What do you do? You know, hey, do you mind coming down? I think we're done now. Are you finished? Because is that enough? No, he's been up there for 15, 20 minutes, and he's got 3 more hours of gasoline in his little propelled kite ultralight with his laser mounted on the bottom of it. And he's just going to keep fucking going. But you have a 300 mag or a 308 or a 30-06, or you're an excellent bowman and you have a crossbow, or you have Roman candles or whatever, or and you have a way of entrapping those blades that's keeping him in there, whatever, or you can shoot his kite or whatever. But eventually you have to kill this person. Eventually you're going to have to stop this person from doing more harm. Now, I am not saying for people to go out and shoot people left and right. That's not what I'm saying at all. No. But if they are in the act of committing felonious, international Nuremberg type, humanitarian type laws on a continuous basis, then they need to be brought to justice, and if needed, court-martialed, if they're with the United States of America. And what is it? What is that? Service members convicted of court-martial can face significant punishment depending on the nature and severity of the crime. These punishments can include years in confinement, discharge from the military, reduction in rank, forfeiture of pay and allowances, and even death in the most serious cases. Yeah. At a certain point, there's I think the only way these people are going to be stopped, let's just get to the brass tacks here. Let's just get to the brass tacks, because according to this guy, and I got to show you, and I know I have it in here because I probably should add it up, whatever. But let's look at all these people though. But all these people are just pissed off as hell. What do you think they want? You think they want reparations? Do you think they want like $1 million insurance policy or something? You think that's going to bring their homes back, their families back, their children back, their families, their city back, their island back? You think that's going to bring them justice? They want to see fucking justice. Fucking justice. And there's none of that right now. There is no Department of Justice at this time under this administration. There really hasn't been in a while, but especially at this one. They're compromised. They're corrupt. There is no Federal Bureau of Investigation. There is no Homeland Security. There is no Federal Drug Administration. There is no Health and Human Services Department. There's no Center on Disease Control. There is no National Institute of Health There's none of that really exists. They're not. They're not. They're doing the opposite of what their job is right now. They're doing the exact opposite. The first thing that they're doing, all of them, especially Twitter, especially Facebook, especially YouTube, especially Instagram, is taking away your First Amendment rights right off the bat. You cannot say, remark, or even hint what you believe would be justice, which would be a court martial. So that's my case. This guy has committed atrocities across this planet for the past 3 fucking plus years. He is a diabolical. He's using Ukraine as a money laundering scam to fill their own pockets. You know, latest news, proven serial numbers of weapons that were supposed to be for Ukraine are now ending up in the cartel's hands. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? That's crazy. Isn't that fucking crazy? Hey Cheryl, how you doing? I know you're at work. Well, hopefully maybe you can listen, but can you believe this shit? This is crazy. These people are fucking hurting. Everybody's hurting. Everybody is seriously hurting right now. The gas prices, food prices. Costs like $50 to get a fucking T-bone steak. What the fuck is this shit? Simple meats and good meats, and Bill Gates is still frolicking around fucking free as a bird. Fauci is still spewing his crap. Right? Klaus Schwab and Yuval Harari and all those fuckers are still just gallivanting around like everything's fine. Nobody's fucking stopping their shit. It's not stopping. Maui is the greatest example of what they're going to do, or what they're doing, if you're not compliant. This is a test. This is to see if they can do it. If they can do it to Maui and erect their smart island, which is in their fucking meeting, then they can do it elsewhere. Other giant fires in other Palestine, Ohio. Guess what's happening in Palestine, Ohio, in those areas? Guess what they want to build out there after all the destruction and mayhem? And all these other cities as well, that there was all these giant, just out of nowhere fucking chemical fires. Well, everything's being burned down and is no longer habitable. FEMA comes in, the government comes in, and they start to take care of everything, which they don't. They don't. That was my Brad Pitt. They don't. Their goal is to fucking mass depopulation 2/3 of the planet by 2030, 2050, hopefully 2030, but it's not working out that way, right? But it's still happening. Mass social control, face recognition, chips in your hands, in your head, wherever, digital passports, IDs, knowing where you're at, what you're doing all the time. Central bank digital currency number 3, no monetary autonomy, meaning the dollar won't be worth anything. The foldable, crinkable, tangible money that you want to put in your wall or in your fucking mattress to save for a rainy day won't be worth anything, because everybody's going to be using digital currency. And who's in control of all that? Everything I just talked about. Who's in control of all that? About 200 people. Right? They just want to hoard it all. They're trying to get rid of all you. They don't care anymore. They don't care anymore. And what's interesting is the governor doesn't even get it. He's like hugging when fucking Biden went over. It was just so pathetic to watch this guy. He went to hug him, and he's like, "Why the fuck are you hugging me, you little piece of shit?" Josh Green had tried to make it a hug to get one back from. It was. I mean, you got to watch it. It's in one of my. I'll probably play it at some time. But he goes up. He was doing his. My kitchen caught on fire, or didn't. My cats got hurt, or some fucking selfish story he was saying about him. You know, he doesn't give a fuck. These people don't give a fuck about any of you. And guess who's leading? Guess what party's leading the charge on this? And I'm not saying the Democrats are out of this. The Republicans are out of this. Because there's a lot of them that are fully compromised or going right along with it. Right? Definitely Mitch McConnell. Right? Definitely people like Chris Christie, Haley, Scott, Pence, somebody who gets a boo all the time. There's a bunch of fucking rhinos. Romney. Mitch McConnell. Who's the other guy? I keep forgetting his name. It'll come to me. But anyway, and all the Democrats have become Democrats, and they're all in on this shit. You know why? You know, there's a few Republicans out there. There's a few Republicans out there that are fucking trying to stop this shit from happening. They get it. They don't want any part of it. They want their fucking 70s, 80s, 90s country back. I do too. I mean, stuff wasn't perfect, but it was a lot better than it is fucking now. You know, you could get a fucking steak for $2 or $3. Right? And the fucking, just 5 years ago, you could buy a fucking T-bone steak for $3.99. Just 3 years ago, you could buy a fucking T-bone steak, like a half a pound, right? Or a pound, like a couple of pounds or a pound. Right? Or a fucking porterhouse steak or a fucking for $2 or $3. Now they're like $40, $50 a steak. And now they want you to eat bugs. Right? Let me show you something else that's really fucking easy. Remember, court martial. Yeah. Death in most serious cases. And I think this is a serious case. So that can be anyway. And by the way, they used to hang them. Not just by a firing range. This used to actually happen. That used to actually happen. So I believe that guy just needs to go down. Right? He should be tried. He should be convicted. He should be tried, for sure. He should be tried. No. Hung after. That's probably what I should have put. If found convicted, he should be hung for in court martial. That's what I should have put, and that probably would have saved me, or saved my account. Right? Yeah, whatever. But these people are all in on this. Right? This right here. This is This is the smart cities. This is the logo. That there's several different types of logos out there for the smart city / island that they're using. Right? Let me show you this one real quick here. Let's go to my favorites, and I saved this one because this one was really good. And it was about, hopefully I can find it. I know I put it up somewhere, but I'm going to find it. Hang on. I hate when I do this. I know you do too. Let's see if I got it in here. Videos. No. Let's just go to my posts. I know I put it in here. What the fuck is it? Oh, that's Waikiki. Okay. I just watched that for days. Alright, where is it? Wealthy elites, psychopaths, rulers, dictators, slave owners. I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't see that all the way. Let me just make it bigger so you can see it. There we go. This was well done. UN, HOWF, FBI, CRS, IRS, government corporations, pharmaceuticals, police, lawyers, doctors, censorship, Hollywood, mafia tactics, misleading data, religion, fear, indoctrination, corruption, school, smear campaign, psyops, propaganda, tyranny, terrorism. And it all applies. Very well done. It makes sense. All right. This is what I want to see. More of this. This fucking lady is a badass. More of these Olympians holding the American flag. And this is what I want to do to Twitter right now. Do you ever want to walk up to someone and just fucking shove your... Just fuck you. You know? Let me see here. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is a good one.
Adelaide, what do you think of the chips? They're yum. What do they taste like?
Barbecue, crickets, and 10 days of crickets.
You can taste the crickets.
This one has lots of
The crickets taste good? Yeah.
Watch it again. Here's the future, people. Everyone, because you want to comply, this is for the compliant. This is for the meek, malleable, and obedient, idiot, moronic, naive, lunatic, compliant out there. These kids are eating chips made out of crickets. Because you know Klaus Schwab, you know that Bill Gates, you know that Jeff Bezos, you know that Elon Musk, you know that these rich fucks, you know they're going to be crickets, right? You know they've got cartons of these in their bunkers and in their homes. I'm sure they eat them all the time. Now, if you look at Bill Gates, I mean, look at the way that guy's built. For sure, he's eating good food. Right? I mean, for fuck's sake. The people that are telling you to eat bugs will not be eating bugs. They will not be conserving their gas. They will be using gas stoves. They will be using fucking their jet planes to fly all over the fucking place. They will be using their fucking limousines and their caravans and shit. But you have to eat the bugs. And your children. They're being sold in 1,000 school canteens across Australia. Man, Australia is the worst. God, they're being so fucking pummeled.
Adelaide, what do you think of the chips? They're yum. What do they taste like?
Barbecue, crickets, and 10 days of crickets.
You can taste the crickets.
This one has lots of
The crickets taste good? Yeah.
Crickets taste good? Yeah. Right? Oh, fuck. I mean, my God. This is just fucking lunacy. This is the future. Here's your future. Right? That's what they want to put in Maui. This is what you're going to eat. You're not going to have a steak. You're not going to have lobster. Good luck if they'll let you fish. Good luck. Okay, they're going to tell you what you need to eat, when you need to eat, and how you want to eat it. But here's what's really happening.
You won't believe it. You just will not believe what I'm going to present to you in today's video. When I discovered it, my jaw dropped, and to be honest, I'm still in disbelief. So whatever you do, turn off all distractions and watch every second of this video, because what you're going to see in here is going to leave you in absolute disbelief. You ready? Let's go.
It's not being reported right now in the news, but on the neighboring island of Lanai, they found 183 bodies washed ashore there. There's 800 as of today reported missing. There are many hundreds that are being refrigerated right now, trying to get ID. They're asking people on the island to provide their DNA so they can match DNA to others. Outside the media, they're expecting this to reach almost 2,000 people in death toll. This is right up there among the worst, if not the worst, since us becoming a nation as fires go. 85 Paradise, and that was considered the worst?
That was Pastor Jack Hibbs revealing shocking information that we don't hear on mainstream media regarding the terrible situation with the Maui fire. What is being reported on mainstream media is this.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency, the team that's supposed to be digging through the ashes and delivering aid, has turned the tragedy into a junket. FEMA booked themselves into 5-star luxury Hawaiian resorts. They're shacking up at the Maui Four Seasons, beachfront of course. Rooms there are $1,000 a night. It's not just the Four Seasons. FEMA agents are also posting up at the Fairmont Kea Lani in Maui, where rooms range there from $1,300 to $4,500 a night. FEMA agents are also crashing at the Grand Wailea Astoria, 5 stars of course. Are these the hotels Biden's FEMA officials should be staying in, gallivanting around in and drinking in, as search and rescue operations are underway with 500 kids still missing? Now, FEMA has confirmed that they're staying at these hotels. Biden's giving Maui fire victims $700, while his FEMA officials sleep at luxury resorts that cost more than that per night. FEMA officials could stay at the Days Inn, where you could get an oceanfront view for $250 a night. We confirmed it. Rooms are still available there. Now, when did FEMA develop this taste for the finer things in life? Because FEMA's administrator, Deanne Criswell, is complaining that they don't have enough money.
We're watching our disaster relief fund very closely. Our estimates do still stay that we may have a depletion of our fund now. I mean, this is a day-by-day monitoring of the situation. We will start to move some of our recovery projects and delay them until the next fiscal year.
Whoa, FEMA has a $25 billion budget.
Please, make it make sense. Maui fire victims get $700 total to rebuild their lives. Meanwhile, FEMA officials get $1,300 per night in rooms at the Four Seasons, Fairmont Kea Lani, and the Grand Wailea in Maui.
Nobody in Hawaii that's went through this tragedy should be worried about where they're staying. The President of the United States should have a gold card. He should be able to walk into a hotel, and plop it down on the counter, and go, how many rooms do you have tonight? Oh, and we need more rooms. Then you go over to the concierge and you go, hey, in case you don't know me, I'm the President of the United States. And do me a favor, call around town and let's get everybody that needs a hotel room. And then you take these poor people who need help and you put them in a hotel room. If we can do it for people that break into our country, we can do it for people that are in need. This shouldn't be hard to do, and this should happen it should be instant. It should be the same day. Nobody should worry about that they have nowhere to go. Not in America. This is disgusting.
If you think that's the big news for today, well, I have information that, like I said, you won't believe. We've talked all week about Maui Police Chief John Pelletier. He's the guy who was in charge of the 2017 Las Vegas shooting that, to this day, still remains a mystery. Pelletier is the same dude who on a previous video we found out received a pay raise only 50 days after he started the job. $205,000 per year, which was a 29% raise. That was even more than he asked for. Okay, so we know who we're talking about, right? Now get this. The Maui police chief with the dark trail of controversy and bad luck around him is also the Maui coroner.
I gotta tell you, met with them. I'm also the coroner, for those that don't know that.
How convenient. Oh, but it gets worse. HB 869 was a bill that passed on January 23rd of this year, just 1 month after Josh Green took office. But what does HB 869 say? What does it do? Well, the very first section, Section 1, states, the legislature finds that coroners should be separate from law enforcement and free to make independent judgments when investigating deaths. Wow, just wow. It also says, under current state law, the chief of police for a county serves as the coroner if the county does not have a medical examiner. Making coroners independent from law enforcement will promote transparency, avoid conflicts of interest, and encourage more confidence in coroners' rulings. Remember, Maui Police Chief John Pelletier told reporters that the fire had melted metal, making the remains extremely difficult to identify.
When we find these, our family and our friends, the remains we're finding is through a fire that melted metal. We have to do rapid DNA to identify them.
With Pelletier both being in charge of the police department and in power of the investigations of the deaths, there certainly seems to be a sinister conflict of interest here. He knows exactly how many children are missing. After all, we're talking about families living in a small 5.7 square mile area. He can certainly figure out how many children were living in each home. Matt Wallace tweeted, "What are the chances that the same guy would be chief of police in 2 completely different states for both the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history, Vegas shooting, and also the deadliest wildfire, Maui fires, in over 100 years in the U.S. With nearly 500 FEMA personnel on the ground in Maui, along with 270 Red Cross workers, 400 Hawaiian National Guard members, and close to 200 U.S. Army reservists, there is no way that they are still not aware of the numbers. No way." Will Kane provided his explanation as to the missing children reports, or lack thereof.
Lead to me. And this is what I've been told. The number's going to be way higher. All of those guys said that reluctantly to me. They didn't want to put numbers on it. They saw many, many bodies. Now, I want you to know that as well when I tell you this. There were a lot of children that were sent home from school that day. We need to find out what happened to all those kids. I will say, in all of my days over there this past week, having talking to a lot of people, you don't hear people saying, I still can't find this person, or I still can't find that person. There's not a great outcry of a missing child or a missing cousin. That does exist, but I'm just telling you, if the numbers are in the 500 to 1,000, I would have thought I would have heard that more. So that does leave me with one last potentiality, which is entire families are gone. Entire groups of people who could not escape, and no one left to say, where is my cousin, where is my uncle, where is my child? I do think, and I am concerned, it's going to be a story that gets worse before it ever looks better. It's tragic.
Independent reporter Nick Sorter posted a very disturbing video along with his tweet that said,
"It's a massacre. It's a massacre. A massacre."
Maui police headlock me for asking the mayor about missing children. Mayor Bisson knows the answer, but he's hiding it. The mainstream media have been refusing to press the mayor on this, so residents and I started pressing him hard for the past several days. He's been demonizing and attempting to discredit me ever since. Regardless, we've been able to really blow the lid off this story. This is a cover-up. Children were burned alive. I've even heard horrific first-hand accounts from locals that found baby bones in car seats and bones of a young boy laying on top of his dog to protect it from the inferno. The 4 schools in Lahaina served over 3,000 students. Only 400 have enrolled in other schools. Another 200 are doing virtual learning. Where are the children, Mr. Mayor?
So we're not going to ask that question. How many of these 10 cadavers are the Maui department, okay? The press show is over. Yeah? So he's not gonna answer my question. Thank you. Take pictures of me. There's no need for hacking. You're with Maui Police, right? Yeah, he's done with the press conference. I appreciate your patience. Yeah. Get out of my way. Who are you? With the Maui Police Department. Okay, and what's my crime? You're literally pushing me. The press conference is over. I don't care if the press conference is over. Get out of the way.
I love this guy.
Sorry. All right, this are 110 cadavers, but we can't identify. We can't identify how many of them are children. This is get out of my fucking dude. Get off my throat.
Relax, sir. Relax.
No, I'm not gonna get.
Relax.
No, I'm not
Relax.
gonna. Okay. I'm not gonna relax, dude. No, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm trying to ask a question, and we can't get the answer for it. How many of the 110 dead are children? You know who are children. They're cadavers. You have the bodies. You know how many of them are children. How many children are dead? Step back, please. How many children are dead, Mayor? So you're just not going to tell.
Nick followed that up with another tweet saying, the morgues, you won't believe it. You just will not believe what I'm going to present to you in today's video. When I discovered it, my jaw dropped, and to be honest, I'm still in disbelief. So whatever you do, turn off all distractions and watch every second of this video, because what you're going to see in here is going to leave you in absolute disbelief. You ready? Let's go.
It's not being reported right now in the news, but on a neighboring island of Lanai, they found 183 bodies washed ashore there. There's 800 as of today reported missing. There are many hundreds that are being refrigerated right now, trying to get ID. They're asking people on the island to provide their DNA so they can match DNA to others. Outside the media, they're expecting this to reach almost 2,000 people in death toll. This is right up there among the worst, if not the worst, since us becoming a nation as fires go. 85 Paradise, and that was considered the worst?
That was Pastor Jack Hibbs revealing shocking information that we don't hear on mainstream media regarding the terrible situation with the Maui fire. What is being reported on mainstream media is this.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency, the team that's supposed to be digging through the ashes and delivering aid, has turned the tragedy into a junket. FEMA booked themselves into 5-star luxury Hawaiian resorts. They're shacking up at the Maui Four Seasons beachfront, of course.
I know that hotel.
Rooms there are $1,000 a night. Not
Fucking
just the Four Seasons. FEMA agents
expensive
are
as
also
shit.
posting up at the Fairmont, Hilani, and Maui, where rooms range there from $1,300 to $4,500 a night. FEMA agents are also crashing at the Grand Wailea Astoria, 5 stars of course. Are these the hotels Biden's FEMA officials should be staying in, gallivanting around in and drinking in, as search and rescue operations are underway with 500 kids still missing? Now FEMA has confirmed that they're staying at these hotels. Biden's giving Maui fire victims $700, while his FEMA officials sleep at luxury resorts that cost more than that per night. FEMA officials could stay at the Days Inn, where you could get an oceanfront view for $250 a night. We confirmed it. Rooms are still available there. Now, when did FEMA develop this taste for the finer things in life? Because FEMA's administrator, Deanne Criswell, is complaining that they don't have enough money.
We're watching our disaster relief fund very closely. Our estimates do still stay that we may have a depletion of our fund now. I mean, this is a day-by-day monitoring of the situation. We will start to move some of our recovery projects and delay them until the next fiscal year.
Whoa, FEMA has a $25 billion budget.
Please make it make sense. Maui fire victims get $700 total to rebuild their lives. Meanwhile, FEMA officials get $1,300 per night in rooms at the Four Seasons, Fairmont Kea Lani, and the Grand Wailea in Maui.
Nobody in Hawaii that's went through this tragedy should be worried about where they're staying. The President of the United States should have a gold card. He should be able to walk into a hotel, and plop it down on the counter, and go, how many rooms do you have tonight? Oh, and we need more rooms. Then you go over to the concierge and you go, hey, in case you don't know me, I'm the President of the United States. And do me a favor, call around town and let's get everybody that needs.
Yeah, so this, I was watching, fuck, this just gets crazier and crazier. So these, yeah, hung. This is, what do you expect me to say? Right? Yeah, I fell for the trap. I get it. Right? But for fuck's sakes. Right? Court-martial. That's what should be done. Right? So let's go to Jimmy Dore did a feel-good story. It's always good when Jimmy Dore does a feel-good story, right? About the Maui fires. Where is it? It's in here. Yeah. It's like, for fuck's sakes, bro. Bup, 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 bup. Where is it? Oh, shit, let me just get over to fucking to his channel. Pasta's doing a great job, by the way. Just, I mean, is Kurt the CIA or something and he has to be there? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. That guy is just fucking annoying. His comedic timing is terrible. And he really has no idea what's going on. He's learning as he goes by, but you know. I know that there's a few times where so this Hungarian company with no direction or no support, financial or anything, from our government, is providing miniature homes from donations, from their heart, because they care. Prefab homes are arriving. You know, just while FEMA gets to stay in a $1,030 a night room, you know, towel service, massages, whatever. Everybody else has to fucking go through this shit. It's crazy. You know, this is wonderful that they're doing this, but it's like, for fuck's sakes, it's like, my God, you know, they're staying in these fucking hotel rooms that the most luxurious fucking
Taste for the finer things are still missing. Now, FEMA has confirmed that they're
Here it is.
staying at these hotels. Biden's giving Maui fire victims $700.
Yeah, there's the hotel they get to stay in. You know, while these people have to hang out here in these things. That's fucking just nuts. Oh, hey, Jordan. Yo, mana, brother, mana, have you heard the song I Will Not Comply? Totally awesome song. Our government wants everyone to comply. Yeah, I'm going to get to that. Actually, I'm going to talk about that tomorrow night when everybody's here. We'll all get into it. Are you going to be on long? No, but tomorrow night I'm going to start at 9 p.m. and then we'll all, you know, talk about what the fuck's going on, the craziness. By the way, everything I post and then we talk, I put it all on Odyssey when we're all together, because we kind of push the boundaries a little bit. So I immediately send those to Odyssey just to make sure I'm keeping the video. But I want everybody to know that, yes, I am on my 8th YouTube channel. I've already had 5 or 6 channels removed due to me presenting my perspective, conclusions, summaries, summarizing things, or just having discussions on what's going on. But they don't want you to know. The goal here is for you not to know what's going on. Because the more you know how devious, insidious, and diabolical the Biden administration is and what they're doing right now. They're literally trying to take down the country from the inside. They're using the pot calling the kettle black continuously. Now they're pulling people in on Twitter to get them to say things like I said and get them removed. And that's all they need. That's the first time I've ever been dinged. That's the first time I've never gotten a warning or anything, and they took it down because I said that he should be hung. You should listen to a will not comply. I will. I'll play it. I'll find out. I'm gonna listen to it. But what's happening in Maui, guys, is it's the thing about Maui that gets me the most is the rest of the island is blue or Democratic or Democrat Hillary, Rachel Maddow, CNN, like it's really bad. But this has to wake them up. This has got to be that moment where they're finally seeing what their compliance is allowing. That's the point here. This is what your compliance is doing. Right? This is what it's doing to... What happened to my scrolling stuff on the bottom of my show? I have it here. Okay. Yeah, so this is what the compliance thing is doing. When you're meek, malleable, and so extremely obedient to the Pedo Predator Class, aka World Economic Forum and their pawn associates, you're gonna get Maui. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get Lahained. You're gonna get Lahained, Smart City Lahained to death, because you're gonna continue to do this. So let me show you also a little bit about what FEMA's been doing recently. these fucking people, it's amazing. It's just amazing. I'm gonna go back and play the rest of that guy. How much more is that is left? Let me just check real quick. Where was he? We were like right here. He was done. Yeah. Please set it as a key night. Right. Okay. Yeah, it's just 2 minutes. I'm gonna let him finish.
Of his dog to protect it from the inferno. The 4 schools in Lahaina served over 3
Police department. Okay, and what's my crime? You're literally pushing me.
The press conference is
I
over.
don't fucking care.
No, it doesn't care. He's the fucking employee of the fuck. See, that's the problem, right? Is these guys, I know they're doing their job, but your job isn't to stop truth. That's the problem. We need answers. And you're not going to get them because it's all being hidden. Right? It's all being fucking hidden.
You have the bodies. You know how many of them are children. How many children are dead? Step back, please. How many children are dead, Mayor? So you're just not going to tell.
Nick followed that up with another tweet saying, the morgues, you won't believe it.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, okay, I played it all good. All right. Where was it? Let's get to here. This is what FEMA's been doing lately. I got to show you this one. Where is it? What have they been doing? Mandates by agreement. Our government order of military against citizens wasn't taught about in school. Somewhere in here. Oh, that's in my Facebook. Fuck. Hang on. Burning woke. LOL. I think we need to refresh our memory. Was it this one? Pedo Predator Class. I'll find it. It's right here. Not in a hurry. Not in a hurry. You know, I'm in a hurry. We are in a hurry. Let me walk that back. We've got to stop this shit quick. Right? This is getting crazy. It's getting fucking out of hand and crazy. Yeah, Stark's going to come on tomorrow, I hope. We're going to talk about this, which is, I don't know, this is kind of a weird picture. Wildfires don't qualify metal rims and leave the plastic wheel covers intact. Isn't that weird? It's like the metal rims burned, but the plastic wheel covers were intact. It doesn't make any sense. Right? The list of defective and recalled products on the FDA website is endless. Yeah, there's some Infamil. Who fucking didn't give their kid Infamil? Jesus Christ. Look, it's the Super Mega Delta Plus Pro Deluxe strain. That chick's fucking awesome. You guys gotta watch it. What's her face? Hold on, where is it? What the fuck? It's FEMA's in here. Actually, I have his 10 tree roll to go away. Yeah. Here, watch this. Hungary did this. Isn't that crazy? Well, what just happened? Oh, darn it. Yeah. They set it up. We didn't set it up. The government didn't set it up.
City, in our region, in our nation, and globally. And did we solve that? Like, did we actually manage to vaccinate everyone in the world? No. So highlighting water as a global commons and what it means to work together and see it both out of that kind of global commons perspective, but also the self-interest perspective, because it does have that parallel. It's not only important, but it's also important because we haven't managed to solve those problems which had similar attributes. And water is something that people understand. You know, climate change is a bit abstract. Some people understand it really well. Some understand it a bit. Some just don't understand it. Water, every kid knows how important it is to have water. When you're playing football and you're thirsty, you need water. So there's also something about really getting citizen engagement around this and really, in some ways, experimenting with this notion of the common good. Can we actually deliver this time in ways that we have failed miserably other times? And hopefully we won't keep failing on the other things, but anyway.
They want to put it in the water. This is fucking crazy. Why can't I get this out and go to my next one? This is so fucking stupid. Anyway, I gotta find that. It's something about FEMA agenda. If you think Trump Well done, fact checkers. By the way, north of Richmond is Washington, D.C. Just thought you guys want to know. People are, where's that? Where's north of Richmond, Virginia? Is D.C. That's the next big town. Let's see what this guy fucking is saying. I think I got too many open here. What you got, Rudo? Why is this giving me a problem right now? Court martial. They're on to me, people.
Or 2%, 3%.
The next pandemic, and there will be one. There will absolutely be an outbreak of another pandemic.
We definitively will have to face other surprises, black swans, as they are called, maybe different kinds of viruses.
But also there will be a surprise outbreak.
Most of the work we're going to do to be ready for pandemic 2, I call this pandemic 1.
The pleasant surprises which will come in our way.
For the next pandemic, we'll solve all those problems.
You say the next pandemic, there will be another pandemic.
Absolutely. We don't know when. You know, the risk per year, 2%, 3%.
The next pandemic, and there will be one. There will absolutely be an outbreak of another pandemic.
We definitively will have to face.
What a load of these fucking people. I'm kind of getting off track here. I wanted to show you a different video. I'm looking for it, but my internet's giving me a fucking issue here. I'm going home real quick. We need you to put on your mask again. Your compliance does not protect you from monsters. It opens the door for them. That's correct. That is correct. That is definitely correct. Hormel West is with these absurd idiots. Here it is. Green Party U.S. Statement from the Green Party U.S. Steering Committee supporting the use of vaccines, vaccine mandates, and quarantines as a part of a comprehensive public health effort to curb and eradicate the novel coronavirus pandemic. They support all that. And then I put, this is why I left this useless waste of mental energy party. And anybody that is supporting Cornel West is a fucking idiot. That's all I have to say about that. Now there's my stupid, where is it? FBI in Hawaii. Oh, going down there again. It's in one of these. I just need to refresh it. Hang on. Something about FEMA. They staged, they actually staged that they were doing a press conference with live people. And then we found out they weren't. And then we found out that they created a fake staged press conference. And they were using their own employees to answer questions. And I have that somewhere. And it's probably in this collage. I just can't fucking remember which one it was. I think I'm getting close. Official Hawaiian families, people missing. Yeah, I don't want them to give and DNA. A lot of these people are just getting away from government right now. There's a lot of them that don't want to be contacted by government, FEMA, police, nobody. That's on the ground right now from what I'm hearing. Because I have people that I talk to. They do not want to have anything to do with anything with a G in front of it, government. Because once they're found, they're going after them, and they know it. Most of these people. Imagine you're in these in the shoes of these people, right? And that was one of my gripes with Twitter, appellate court, whatever the fuck that was. And I said, imagine you're in the shoes with these people. What would you want done with the people that haven't done anything or helped to make it happen? As a matter of fact, that are part of it. First of all, you want that guy to go under court-martial and be given capital punishment. For sure. That's what you want to do. But there was a fucking video I had with a FEMA. Oh, is it on YouTube? Fuck. Maybe it's on YouTube. I'm going to go to there. Yeah, I'll be out pretty soon. I've been on for an hour or so, 2 hours. Alright, where is it? Yeah, I should have had it up, but anyway. So yeah, so the FEMA staged their press conference. Fucking crazy. FEMA staged the press conference. FEMA staged. I'll just type it in. FEMA fake press conference. Yeah, they've been grilled on this. If fucking Chris Christie ever got that close to me, I'd fucking floor that piece of shit. God, get the fuck out of my face. All I'd have to do is just tap him with my finger and he'd fucking probably explode. I didn't want that crap all over me. Yeah. Yeah, this has been a bunch of bullshit. Where was it? FEMA. Fake. Press conference. Trying to show it. It's probably on my Facebook, something like that. We're praying for Lahaina. Blue roof. It's in there somewhere. I'll find it and I'll get it tomorrow. I'm kind of done. I'm just like, I'm a little worn out. This is a lot of work, guys. You know, you got to think to yourself, and I'll end with this.
So it's just a coincidence that the police chief was the same man in charge of the Las Vegas shooting. And it's just a huge coincidence that property owned by millionaires and billionaires like Jeff Bezos, Oprah, and the founder of PayPal remained untouched, while the land of the natives burned only a few feet away, literally. And it's just a huge coincidence that the island had the largest system of outdoor sirens in the world, yet they decided not to sound them or alert anybody in any way. And it's just a huge coincidence that they closed all of the schools, sent all of the children home, and turned off the water as soon as the fires started so that people couldn't put them out. And it's just a coincidence that under orders, policemen blockaded the exits, didn't allow anyone to evacuate, and forced them to jump in the water to save their own lives. And it's just a coincidence that the island is set to be the very first to operate on 100% renewable energy, and to do so, they must significantly decrease their CO2 emissions. And it's just a huge coincidence that 1 month prior to the fires, the mayor issued a press release highlighting his commitment to the United Nations 2030 Agenda of Sustainable Development. And it's just a coincidence that Hawaii is the only state to have submitted a voluntary local review, which is a framework and goal set to achieve sustainable development. And it's just a huge coincidence that BlackRock and the United States government are 2 out of the 3 largest landowners on the island who have been trying to buy up the land from the natives for the past few decades, who refuse to sell, and both of them are part of the renewable energy agenda. And it's just a huge coincidence that the survivors' homes that are still standing are now being evicted. And it's just a coincidence that the fact checkers saying that all of this is a coincidence are owned by BlackRock. At this point, if you believe that all of these are coincidences, you are the crazy one, not me. Google is not going to come out and tell you what's going on, and even if they did, a lot of you wouldn't even believe it unless it was from a government or fact-checking website. But guess what? They're not going to tattle on themselves, so you need to think for yourself. We should be absolutely enraged about these fires. We really need to stand up and do something, because things like this are just going to keep happening, because we allow them.